Namaskar and welcome to this exciting new episode of Sattology Debunking Mythology. Sat means truth, Logos means the study of science or science. It's Sattology means science of truth or study of truth. It's a true antonym of mythology. Myth in Sanskrit is a root word for lie, fake, or imagination. So when you combine with the Latin logos, it becomes a study or science of fake, lie, or imagination. It's very surprising. I've been saying it for last 1 week that not a single American university calls Abrahamic history as mythology. There is no basis. I mean, if you ask all the archaeologists, anthropologists, and astronomical study pundits on Abrahamic history facts, they won't be able to answer you. A lot of propaganda, but still they don't call it mythology. Mythology is reserved for all history of any other faith. Buddhism, Hindu, actually, I don't connect with the word Hinduism also. I love to call it Hinduness, which I got corrected last week. And I do not connect. So even the Latin American history is also called mythology. So today we have a very, very special topic and a special guest. The topic is Seva. Now, Seva in English doesn't translate to service because sa eva means with yourself. So you have to understand yourself also before you do seva. And I can play with words because of my Sanskrit background. I can play with words a little bit. I have a very, very special guest, good friend, very good friend, and has done many, many shows here with us. So let us welcome Gopal Goswami.
Namaskar.
Yeah.
Namaskar,
Gopal, this seva word is so deep. I was going researching into that some time back, that you have to bring yourself together for others. So which is a very unique concept and which is very different than American charity. Charity means collecting money for the church. That was the actual meaning of charity. So the English word is so different than the Hindi word. Hindi word means that you do something for others without expecting anything back in return, anything back. But the English word charity means that it should also make money. So you'll see most of the American nonprofits, the huge corporations, Red Cross, and there's one good example. It's a $35 billion firm, nonprofit.
Rockefeller Foundation, Ford Foundation, now Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, many to count.
So how do
And
you distinguish seva in an Indian context first?
see, if you the culture, Indian culture, the Indian subcontinent is connected to. We have our scripture full of this word seva, and our dharma, our belief system, and our lifestyle, way of living is indulged around this word. It revolves around this word. There is one Sanskrit sloka for that. Slagyah sa eko bhui manavanam sa uttama satpurusah sa dhanya yasyarthino va saranagata va nasha vivengya vimukha prayanti. That means on this noble earth, only those people are noble. There is a meaning in great difference in great and noble. So only those people are noble and Satpurush, from whom no one goes back empty-handed. Whoever comes to him goes back happily with his desired fulfilled with best of the doer's capacity. And in Mahabharata also, there is a very good tagline of our one organization, Disha Foundation I am connected with. That is Sarva Bhut Hiterata, means I am onto the service of every living and non-living creature on this planet. So Seva has that service, means I'm bringing this word service because I had to translate it somewhere. So we are just as you told, There is no translation, direct translation of seva. Seva means that, as you rightly described it, there is nothing in return. It is just to fulfill my peace and happiness. Peace and happiness is the ultimate goal of all the peoples all around the world. And when you serve without any, without seeing any profit into it, when you are serving people, then it becomes ultimate happiness and peace and happiness. It brings peace and happiness to your life. So we have long history from Ramayana Kal, like Shabri did to Bhagwan Ram, that Seva. Bhagwan Hanuman did to Bhagwan Ram without expecting anything. Bhagwan Hanuman is epitome of Seva. You can directly translate this word Seva to Bhagwan Hanuman, because without expecting anything in return, he served entire his life to Bhagwan Ram. He went all the way. He first of all he connected Sugriv with the Bhagwan Ram. Then he took the Sena of Sugriv to all the way to Lanka. He discovered that Ravan has brought Sita Mata to Lanka. Then he destroyed Lanka, came back. Again they went there, uh, destroyed entire Lanka, defeated Ravan, and brought back Sita Mata to Ayodhya and served entire his life with Bhagwan Ram. And he is one of the Chiranjeevis, means those who never die. Sapta Chiranjeevis are believed to be living as on date. Aswasthama, Balirvyaso, Hanumanasya Vibhishana. Seven people, Aswasthama, Raja Bali, Vyasji, Hanumanji, Aswasthama, Balirvyaso, Hanumanasya Vibhishana, or Vibhishan, uh, Kripachari, and Bhagwan Parashuram. All seven people are Chiranjeevis. So Hanuman ji, with his seva, his selfless service to Bhagwan Ram, attained this status of Chiranjeevi, immortal. So we have full, our history, our scriptures are full of service. Sarva Bhuta Hiterata. That means the ultimate thing, that I'm onto the service of the entire living, non-living element. Like Sarva Bhut means whatever the living, non-living things are there. 84, all 84 lakhs, so 8.4 million kind of life, living and non-living things.
Bhagavad Gita calls Loka Sangraha as the essential principle for any Raja or anyone who is in a Shrestha position higher, for the benefit of all the people. And the title given to all the Devta is Lokpal. So Indra is a Lokpal. Ideally, I don't like the title Prime Minister. Minister is a person in a Christian church. So that's why in America they call ministries.
In India also, now we have lot many ministries.
The ministry is a Abrahamic concept. Our concept is different. Mantri is not minister. Mantri means
Amadhya.
mantri who meditates, who thinks and who researches topics, and they gives mantrana to the leader,
Mantrana to
to the
king.
lokpal
Yes.
person. So like all the devta are called lokpal, generally lokpal, protectors, caretakers. It's a very deep word, but the word itself is connected to seva. And so even when you see that when they say lok tantra, means a tantra for seva, for lok sangraha, tantra for lok sangraha. So even that is a very deep meaning. So every aspect of Sanskrit literature or Sanskrit word just call everything as seva. And like you said, very good example you gave of Hanumanji. The Hanumanji is seva murti. We worship him to learn how to do seva, because he played on his life to serve Sri Ram, uh, jumping saw 100 yojana without any, like, he was not knowing what benefit he's going to get. He was not counting anything, but he went all the way 100 yojana, and he was not even sure. Jambavan had to remind him, and he jumped. So where is this principle today lacking?
Actually, if you go, you have must have told in one any of your program that we, the Sanatanis, the Hindus, the Indians, we believe that each of the creature of God is part of God. It is Paramatma's Ansh means it's part. So while we serve any poor, any animal, anyone, we feel that he or she or it is part of God. We are serving to the God. So when we serve a God, then ultimately the happiness, the peace is going to come to us. So the very concept of seeing God in each and every creature that is living or non-living, that stone is also God for us in our Sanatan Dharma. A tree is also God, animal is also God, the one mountain is also God, the river is also God. That very concept comes from there, that each of the creature is made out of God. Brahmansh, aham brahmasmi. Brahma, we are particle of that Brahman. So when we are serving to somebody, the river, we are offering our gratitude to the river, we are offering our gratitude to the tree, these are giving oxygen to us. The forest, which is balancing the uh, ecosystem and giving food to us. So everything we respect as a god, godly things, God's own creature and God's own part. So whatever goes to the God is definitely, it comes back with the blessing of God, and you feel happy. One more example is Bimb and Pratibimb. Like when you see a mirror, your image in mirror, so it gives you a reflection. It is like when, if you want to garland that image, you have to garland yourself and you will see the reflection over there. So it is like that only. Those peoples we are serving selflessly is reflection of us, reflection of God. And if we want to serve ourselves of the God, we can serve them. That is ultimately it is going to come back to
See
us.
the the uh, because of the when we say that Hindutva or Hinduness, it is intrinsically related to seva of self, which is through yoga, and the seva of everyone else, again an extension of yoga, because both are connected. Because if we do not serve others, we do not serve ourselves also, because we are all dependent on each other. Like Bhagavad Gita says, maya dakshena prakriti suyate se characharam. So the concept of us being connected to the entire world is this important aspect called seva. So the missing link of, like you said very clearly, Om Purnamada Purnamidam. That's what you said actually. Om Purnamada Purnamidam. Without Om, we are not complete, and without everyone else, also we are not complete. Like even when we worship Bhagwan, then we worship Krishna. We worship his friends. We worship his cows. We worship him together with everyone else. That's called complete. Otherwise it's incomplete. So this important aspect, the wealth of Bharat, has to be like that. India should become the leader in the service. If you see, in every single aspect, India has contributed a lot to the rest of the world without asking a price. In America invents something and they charge you money for that. But India has offered everything free, including numerals. From basic numerals, counting, counting was always there, but it was written in words. But numerals were invented in India again. And but today this concept seems to be lost. Where are we losing it?
Actually, for we Indian, this seva is very much embedded in our daily lifestyle as on date also. If we go back to last 1 year of this coronavirus pandemic, COVID-19, with this huge population, with the migrated population living in cities, from the villages, and complex infrastructure. We have managed to minimize the human or any other losses just because of this very tattva, this seva tattva present among all of us. In India, uh, still we have communities, we have neighborhood, we have government comes at the later stage. First, if somebody is hungry in your neighborhood, so we or they will come to me. If you are hungry, they will feed me from my neighborhood. This is a natural thing. If the neighbor fails, then the social organizations. There are many seva sangatans, many caste-wise, community-wise. Uh, with this city where I reside, Surat, Gujarat, have a 7 million population. We have more than 1,000 seva organizations. They have worked tirelessly in all around this year, from food, from transportation, from their uh, food kits, their education, and healthcare. Everything they have managed with the people from community. The government also asked the community to participate in these things. In this second wave, we have 38 COVID care centers where with oxygen bed, 38 COVID care centers with 4,000 beds made by the community, people from the society. So it is not a small thing. People have donated lot of things, the medical equipments, oxygen supplies, medical supplies, hospitals, transportation, ambulances, ample. The second wave has hit us very badly, but we have managed it very sharply, very fast and swiftly with the collaboration of government and the society. So the very bhav, the feel of seva comes there. The people who have not lifted a single cup, those who get water glass in their hands, they never picked the water bottle out of the fridge, were loaded with the bags of rice, wheat, and vegetables. They were cooking in community kitchens, feeding 50,000 meals at a time from one kitchen. Can you imagine? Those people with affluent money, their kids were serving there as of they are working for, uh, they never work. They never had that hard work, that physical work, what they were doing in the community kitchens, serving people door to door in the nights, midst of the nights, up to 2 a.m. in the early in the morning. They were working, and again 6 o'clock they were coming and doing all these things. That does not come from any force with or any crave for this popularity or charm for this thing. Nothing. They don't have anything in mind. Just they were doing was a seva, purely seva, and that comes from your inheritance. It cannot be teased. It cannot be taught in schools or colleges or somewhere in the society. It comes from within your house. The seva, what we do to our parents, to our elders, to our society, everywhere. This element seva has been enormous in India. There are many ashrams, there are many religious places where people are going, community is on daily basis, they are taking food. Even ISKCON has very good, this Akshay Patra. Akshay Patra Foundation is supported by ISKCON, has fed millions of people across the country. And they were doing it with the with a feel of seva only, nothing else. RSS done plenty of job, immense job. Later we will share a slide where we can see what kind of work they have done. So there is no segment of society which were not involved in this service. They were at the risk of their lives. Many people lost their lives. The hospitals, you cannot imagine in the other part of the globe what people have did. RSS has given their volunteers to the hospitals where nobody was daring to go. There was shortage of staff. The bodies were piling up. So they They freed the medical staff, trained medical staff for the medical work, and they have done all the services or the seva work to getting them to the toilets, to get them food, fruits, feed them, change their clothing, bathing, everything for months with risking their lives. So that is seva something. No one has forced them. And RSS is a organization where people spend money from their out of pocket and go and do seva. They don't expect anything from the society. They don't collect anything from the society for the institution. They are selflessly doing all these things. So many of them, you must be surprised that the Shamshan Grih cremation points have been taken over by RSS workers, and they were doing the cremation work there. The ambulance has been deployed to collect the body from hospital and cremate it with respect to all the rightful respect to them. So this doesn't come from any teaching or anything. This comes from what we have learned from our ancestor. My father did it. My father learned it from his father. My son is seeing it. What I am doing today, he will do it tomorrow, and they will inherit. There is nothing. They know that this is the thing what we actually meant for. The human is meant for. When the point of seva comes, there is no mind. The application of mind stops there. The heart comes in picture. So man has no word for this Western dictionary. So man is the one thing which actually controls us, not the exactly mind and heart. So when we do seva, then we keep this aside and do it from the heart.
So, the many Western countries, particularly USA, claim to be the number one. Generally, it is told in the American society that we are the biggest charity giver, and I don't doubt them because they do that. But there is a motive involved. Like when they give charity, there is something they expect back. Influence. They buy influence through charity. Bill and Melinda Gates. It's a multi-billion-dollar non-profit. It's a foundation. But when they give charity, they are expecting something back. Like, for example, they'll get involved in projects like in India also they're involved in malaria and mostly disease related, healthcare related, because they get a lot of data back. So, so according to the Sanatan Dharma definition, that is not considered charity because that is
Mm.
considered as a,
Business.
a business. Tax classification doesn't make it a charity. And
Mm.
I'm seeing the numbers coming out of India. Not a single person has slept during this COVID pandemic hungry. The numbers,
None, not a single.
and India is the only country in the planet which has made ration free for everyone, anyone who cannot afford. You don't even have to present your tax data. So in the US, if you want to claim any tax free, you have to you have to give your tax filing for the last year, and then only you
Mhm.
can get the. But India, they didn't even check that. So
For next 6 months, it is free of cost for the all below poverty level peoples.
yeah, free of charge for next 6 months. Look at that,
Yep.
and that
Yes.
has not happened in the entire world. But
Yes.
still, there is one segment, and there'll be always people who are criticizing for no reason, but they will keep on doing that. That's a propaganda. But one thing comes to my mind, and you can answer me best, is that what was the mood of all these workers who were risking their life and going to every single aspect without worrying about anything about COVID-19 and other, getting themselves affected by it. What was the mindset there?
Yes. It's a very important point actually. To uh, to look at the psychology, the working behind this thing. See, the person who is going to the hospital, he's mind you, he is not a trained medical staff. He is just going to take care of the patient who is in the hospital, admitted in the hospital. So when he is leaving his house, his parents must be worried because people are dying out there. His wife, her husband, children's, everyone. is risking their one person, important person of the family. They are leaving him to the service. But again, what is the force? That is a pertinent question. What is the force behind this motive? That is inculcated in our sanskars, in our upbringings. The father thinks that if he is not going, then who is going? If somebody is working, the doctor is working there, the caretaker at the hospital is working there, the trained medical staff, paramedical staff is working there, then why not my kid? And this very force, the spirit of service, seva, that comes into picture. That if I will be, I will be no more doing this seva, then I will go to the God. See, again, that picture comes that every particle, every living or non-living being is part of that Brahma, that God. Serving, I will die in the service of God. So, if at all I die during the service, I die during serving people who are in dire need, if I die, I will go to heaven with the gods. I will merge into the God. I will have the moksha. That is the spirit. And the entire family, man, the entire family backs that decision. Yes, you go, no problem. So that does not come from any teaching. That does not come from any training. And yes, India is the capital of Seva, and Seva comes from the sanskars which are inculcated throughout our life from the childhood, from the beginning.
In most of the other countries, service is talked about big time. But we have seen the examples of the Middle East also. They don't take care of their own people; their people have to run. And some of the services are involved, but only community based, like communal based. Like for example, I'll just take a rough example of Palestinians and Israelis. Palestinians only take care of themselves, and Israel to some extent, because it's a secular government, goes out of the way. Just one example, but still very community driven. But in the case of Sanatan Dharma and the Hindu people, it is not community driven. It is based on anyone across the across the spectrum. Everyone is involved. What is your view on that? Yeah. So I was asking you this question that in every single community, you heard the question. Did you hear the question?
Yes, yes, I have heard the question. Yeah.
And in only in the case of India, we see, or Bharat, we see that it is not community driven. Like there was no consideration of who belongs where, and people went all out to serve everyone else. This we have seen only in the case of India, nowhere else, and
But
especially in the
again,
Hindu community.
I would like to interrupt here. It was with the Hindu community only. The Hindu origin communities, the Sanatan driven communities with the Sanatan philosophy, like Sikh communities, Jains, Buddha, and the Hindus, all four wings of the Sanatan, were only involved in this service. There was nothing from the Islamic people, means the masjid or the madrasas or any religious institution, Muslim religious institution, and the church. Remind you, the church is the biggest stakeholder in of the lands and properties in India after Indian government. So they have huge funds. They are receiving fund from all these foundations. What we have described, the Ford Foundation, and then Rockefeller Foundation, again Bill and Melinda Gates, and other ministries of this Christian missionaries. So they were not involved anywhere. This was with the people who were followers of Indic Sanatan culture. And we have done it without looking into the caste, creed, or color. We have served every needy people, whoever was in the need was served, irrespective of any religion, anything. So it does not, the things are same here because that society fully belong to those cults, the Abrahamic cults. So we can't expect it. The same thing is being repeated here back home in India also. They were not never involved in these activities. Even Muslims and Christian people were fed by Hindu organizations. So the culture is like that only, because those Abrahamic religions believe that things are for their bhog. Everything God has created is for our consumption or entertainment. So the question does not come there. Basic difference is culture, whereas for us it is serving the God.
See, another aspect in the English, most of the English sayings are just words. Like there's no connection in word and karma. Like when they say the left hand should not know the right hand is doing, or the right hand should not know the left hand. There is another connotation to that, secrecy.
Hmm.
But in the dan, the left and right doesn't come into the place because dan is given with both the hands. The
Yes.
Sanatan
Yes.
culture is you give, open your
It's not
palms,
giving, it's offering. It's not
offer.
giving. It's
Yes.
not giving, it's offering.
Yes.
Nobody gives like this. You take it. It gives like this. Offers. So he's a God. He or she, whoever receives at receiving end, is God. With the very same idea, we offer service to our deities, our Bhagwans. We do them Abhishek daily. We shower them with the water. We give them chandan tika or everything, and we offer them aratis. So this is also kind of service which comes from there. So we are basically, if you say, we are offering the services to some stone for Abrahamic cults, but it brings a element of service, seva, into us. That when we can serve this God, which we have not seen, a symbol of God, then he, she is a living being. Why not we serve them? So that difference is there.
Yeah. Like the important concept dan. Now, dan is the deeper word. Yagya dana tapa na tyajet. It says that this should not be given even by pavanani manishina. Even the intelligent people are purified by doing these three activities: yagya, dana, and tapa. Now, dan is kept on the same level as yagya and tapa, and which we all should know because belonging to the same culture. Now, dan means it's beyond any consideration because you're not yet joshi, yet karoshi. Whatever you do it for the purpose of seva of Hari. That's the whole concept of dan. Dan is
So
not
there
the
is
concept.
one slok I would like to quote from Ishavasya Upanishad. Isavasyam vidam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita ma kata swadhaniyam. Means Ishavasam idam sarvam. That means the God resides in every particle of this entire universe. And whenever you are getting, you feel that it is from the God, of the God, for the God, and you take from it whatever is required for your living being, for your daily needs, and the rest should be offered back as if you are offering it to the God. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. Whatever little you can survive should be taken from the this universe. That is the concept. And dan is something not what we are giving as a charity. Dan is giving back from where we have taken it. So the very concept of dan and charity is pole apart. And as you said, this hand, left hand should not know what the right hand did. Means there is something in between that will be missed out, and no one should know about this thing, because what received the right hand received, and the left hand gave, there is a gap in between. So it should be kept secret. That's why the left and right hand principle is brought into the picture by these so-called service institutions.
The last point which I would like to discuss with you is the concept of so when you are doing dan and claiming credit, nowadays it's a big fashion. because you have to claim credit in today's world. So even though we may be doing it for Ishwar, Isha Vasimidam Sarvam, we are doing it for him. But if we do not tell the others that how much we have done, the world doesn't know about it. You know? So is there a problem? Is there rasabhas there, like some kind of a like a contradiction there?
But at the very same time, this is the practice from the long back. See, we have invented zero, we have invented the numeric system, we have invented yoga, we have invented Ayurveda, we have invented all these things, astrology, astronomy. We have given it to the world free of cost. See, who wrote the Veda? Does anyone know who has written these Veds, Ved hymns? No one knows. Nowhere it is mentioned that this rishi or that rishi has written all these Vedic things. No, this is our parampara, this is our tradition. That nothing. We are not worried about the. It is for the entire mankind, not only mankind, for the entire universe. What we have invent, we cannot say it invented because the knowledge is always there. It is only up to us when we can reach to the knowledge. So we say that we have invented this as if you have invented, then it should not have happened. Nothing can be invented. If it is possible, that's why it is being done. You have find the ways how it can be done. Man can fly in aeroplane. If aeroplane can fly, then only it was made. The knowledge means the technique was developed by someone. So it is also not there. Like the turmeric issue, you must be aware of. The Americans have made patent for that also. That this has the properties. We are taking it in the daily course of meal.
Right.
We have 3 times we are taking meal. In each meal we take turmeric and this garlic and whatever things which are beneficial for the body, for the well-being of human body. We are taking on daily basis. So the Ayurveda tells you what to eat, how to eat, and when to eat, how much to eat. There are seasons, there are times, there are morning, afternoon, or evening meals. So what to eat in which meal and how much to eat is also determined. So that was a way of living. The Ayurveda tells you how to live happily. Today we have invented some vaccine. So vaccine is not going to cure it. It is only preventing it from happening. Cure is something that coronavirus should not affect your body. That is the only cure can be possible. So you develop your body in such a way that that virus cannot damage you. It cannot impact on your body. It cannot have impact. So there are different things.
So actually, I'll just add over there on the Veda, because Veda were actually written by Vyasdev through his disciples. So Paila Rishi wrote the Rig Veda, Paila Rishi wrote the Rig Veda, and Vaishampayan wrote the Yajur Samhita, from which you quoted Ishavasya. And then the Jaimini did the Samba Veda, and the Atharva Veda was written by Angira Rishi. So these four were the main department heads, you can say. But the division,
The compilation was done by them.
compilation was done by them, because for Kali Yuga, so that we can remember,
Yes.
our intelligence
So
is
it was
less.
formulated. See, it was formulated, then it was practiced, self-practiced, then it was journalized for the people.
That's right.
So if you see Nyaya Darshan, it has 16 parameters to normalize any practice. So it has in modern this education system, we have 4 parameters only: hypothesis, then a tool, develop a tool, then collect the data and find some solutions. That is the only 4 parameters. But we have 16 parameters in Nyaya Darshan, which tells us what should be the ways to determine the truthfulness of any new findings. Pratyaksha, Pramana, Anumana, it is the 16 things are there in Gautam Yoga Sutra, this Nyaya Darshan. So for us, this was always scientific, and we have done it with that thing also. Where the hymns were means it were generated by people, many people. It was made then compiled by what Bhrigu Angira and all Prachin Rishis, as you rightly said.
So, one last point about the Seva Bharati, we'll also show the slides also. And
Okay.
that has been the leading organization which has done a lot of Seva during this time. So, what are the statistics you have for that? And the slide for the viewers will be showing right here.
See, Seva Bharati is the leading organization in India, and it has what it has done. It is the largest Seva Sangathan in Bharat, one of the largest, you can say. So in COVID-19, as of May 15, 2021, we had, Seva Bharati had ambulance services for dead bodies at 305 places in the country. Helpline center at 3,770 places. 2,904 vaccination center, and so far, as on 15 May, vaccinated 14.8 million people, and 4,773 assistance center for the vaccination, and it involves 22,274 volunteers was doing all these, performing these tasks. Uh, at across the country, 816 places, our teams were at the cremation centers were taken over by Seva Bharati. 1,242 counseling centers has been set up, and 75,751 people were served. That Ayurvedic kahda, that liquid made out of herbs, the extract of herb, hot soup, were served at 5,921 places. When I say places, that means one unit where the task has been performed. And people served 40 millions. 426 plasma donation centers has been set up by Seva Bharati, and 4,193 person beds served. 1,256 places we had blood donation camps, and 43,972 unit blood collected. Food for affected families were served at 3,315 places. That means one unit of city or a small city, and 5,35,453. That means around 500,000 people were served with food. 287 isolation center, COVID isolation center, had been set up by Seva Bharati. Total number of bed was 9,838. I'm talking about entire the country, India. Total 9,436 patients served, and 3,194 volunteers were engaged in this task. 118 COVID care centers, which are having 7,476 beds, and 18,379 people served. Out of those, 2,285 oxygen beds were set up, and 1,989 volunteers were assisting them. And we have also given, Seva Bharati has also given assistance to government COVID care centers in 762 cities, 819 centers with the help of 6,030 volunteers. And Seva Bharati also set up online doctor consultation at 1,399 places, and with 4,445 doctors, and 1,51,257 people were served. So this is the work we can say that Seva Bharati has performed up to May 15, 2021.
So, one thing I can conclude that Seva is the principal characteristic of being a Hindu, Hinduness.
Yeah.
If you're not doing Seva, that means there's something lacking, something missing. And I think instead of becoming a WhatsApp artist and a Wikipedia data collector, which is Wikipedia is a bad source for anything Hindu, get involved in the actual Seva and learn.
And you will not find all these things. No banner, no poster of Seva Bharati, nothing displayed at any place. And you will not find this data with those organizations, with UNO or whatever the agencies are looking at the health. WHO also are not having this data. but people know that Seva Bharati is doing these things in our neighborhood, and that is the biggest strength. See, Seva Bharati do not do it for to display it at WHO center or to for the recognition from America. They are in the service, and this is very basic nature of a Hindu, as you rightly said. So there is no propaganda, no showbiz, only work. That this is a very basic characteristic of a Hindu. You rightly said. Yes.
So thank you so much, Gopalji, and I really want to. You have done so many things. You don't want to say it, but I would like to also congratulate you on doing wonderfully in this way, and to set a good example for others, where people are. People need leaders, and this is leaders, Shrestha. And Shrestha doesn't mean that you're superior. Shrestha means you're a better sevak. The definition of Bhagavad
Vayam
Gita.
Vayam Rashtrayam Jagrayam Purohita. You know, we should become leader of our communities. We should sow paths to others. That is from the Vedas. And one more thing, one last thing. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadranu pasyantu, ma kaschid dukh bhag bhavet. That means all should be happy, all should be free of any vyadhi, any, what do you say, any difficulties, and all live peacefully in this planet or this universe, what we pray each day.
Like if you tell somebody that you are a das or servant, it's very offensive.
Mhm.
But in our Shastra, it is considered very big thing.
Yes.
Because if you say that I make a joke, boss anu boss, like if you try to become that way, it is not Sanatan Dharma principle.
I think Satyendra Das ji, Kausalendra Das ji must be coming to your show, though. So you show the world that what Das means.
Yes, our principle is different. We want to be the servant of the servant. Like we want to take and that is actually high position. So when somebody says, "Are you serving others?" They say, "No, no, no. We are not serving. We are managing." Again, you miss the point, because the managing is also a service. I agree with you, but
Yes.
but the concept is different. That we amanina manadena kirtane astari. Like we want to give all respect to others. We don't want to expect anything in return, but at the same time we continue to do our seva, and serving yourself. You're serving yourself more than others. It's a different way to take it. Thank you so much,
What
Gopal.
goes around comes around. What goes around comes around.
Yeah,
As they
exactly. So thank you so much. What an enlightening
say.
conversation. And viewers, if you like it, do comment on it, give a feedback, and I hope we change the mindset of Seva from today onwards. Thank you and namaste.